Welcome back to your favorite podcast, But Do You Have a Real Job? With your host, Mario Mitchell.
It's me, Mario.
Just decided, you know what? No more music until I'm responsible enough, which may never happen.
That sounds terrible.
But
No
I
more
do have
music.
these. Well, we have like the gym music and things like that, and the music around me, so that's okay.
I guess, but still, I have to have that shit all day, every day.
Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes it sounds like a Disney. Over in Korea, it's like BTS is really popular, so right now all they have is like Disney sounding music. Everything's a Disney, part of the Disney soundtrack.
No way. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that they would be popular. I guess they're popular over here too, but not really in the way that they're popular over there. Fuck. I bet their shit's going on everywhere.
Oh man, they call people. I know that the translation is a little bit different, but they call them idols.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking like God, like I'm worshiping
Right.
these.
I mean, I've seen their shows. They look fucking nuts.
Yeah,
Like
it
it seems like they've like even the country has like said, "Holy shit, this is our group."
yeah, and sometimes it's pretty. Sometimes they're pretty entertaining. One of them, it's a singing TV show, and the hosts have to guess if the person's an actual singer or not from a previous video that's been recorded, and they have
Mm.
to. Sometimes it's their voice, sometimes it's not, and they have to guess if it's not. It's just kind of fun to watch.
That's weird. How different is the TV over there from over here?
I don't watch too much TV because I don't have one myself, but it's a little bit more dramatized, I'd say. I guess which makes sense because the shows that are popular over here are all part of K dramas.
Ah, that
So
makes
probably,
sense.
yeah, probably the only thing I've seen.
Wow. You don't watch TV? You don't have a TV?
No, I actually never really had a TV in college too much, and TV is like I watch
Yeah,
it from my laptop. Netflix is
right.
good enough.
Yeah, I haven't watched TV in so long. The only time you ever find me watching TV, if it's like some crazy, huge thing, like some sort of debate, like when the Trump thing was happening and Trump was debating Hillary, and it's like the only place you could literally watch it was on a television.
Yeah,
But now I think they're like integrating the internet into it and YouTube, so you'll have to like go to their YouTube and stuff. You can watch it now. So I don't even know how many people are actually watching TV anymore in general.
yeah, that's very good. That's a real good point because a lot of my students, even in Korea, I'll ask them what they did on the weekend, and some of them are like real little, so they don't know or they can't really go anywhere. So it's like I watched YouTube. I watched this
Right.
on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, do you do anything else than you other than YouTube? And they're like, what is there to do? And I'm like, oh
Right.
my God.
They're like, TV, what's that? You know what YouTube is. Even me, though, I pay for YouTube Premium because I watch so much YouTube. I'm like, I can't be sitting here watching all these ads. Like, I got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for the kids over here because the air quality, it's not the worst like some of the other countries in the world, but like it's bad enough for them and their parents to reconsider like playing outside. So they'll put their kids in like Hagwons, which is it's a school, but it's a smaller school. It's like an extracurricular school where they're still studying, math, science, and the basics.
Right. But the air is like bad there.
Yeah, there's some people that wear masks. As far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, it's something with like micro dust too in the air, where it's like I guess it affects your lungs after so long of being here. But
Right. How does
also,
that happen?
I think it's like I'm not really sure like how it actually affects you with
Mm.
so I
No, I
think
mean, like, how does the air get that bad over there? Like, why is it so bad?
so I think there's kind of like a little bit of a
And
probably
where
a
are you at
combination.
for the people that are coming in right now? Where are you at right now in
Uh,
Korea?
I'm in South Korea. I'm in Busan, which is if you look at Korea, you have north and south, obviously, but
Hmm.
you go down as far south as you can and over to the east. So it's Busan. I think that's right, east. Yeah,
Yeah.
southeast. And I'm right on the shore, not next to the beach, but I'm next to this like I think it's a sea. I know. Um, there's the beach is right next to us. But I'm doing South Korea. I'm teaching. I've been teaching here for almost a year, and it's been a pretty good time, honestly. Really good experience.
But back to the air, I'm curious, like, why is it so bad over there?
So there's a couple of things combination. One is in China, is what they say. It's a drift from China.
Mm,
Um, and right now we're getting. I guess I'll get to that later, but there's the drift from China, and then I've heard that Korea doesn't have any natural resources. I'm guessing because it's so small of a country, so they'll have to create things. Like there's a lot of factories, and I guess they create a lot of pollution while creating their products over here.
right.
So yeah, there's not too much to work with.
So you got just a bunch of bad air coming in from China, and then you got a bunch of factories there that are. What are you guys creating that like natural resources? What do you mean? Like you're creating oil or something?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. I just like kind of overheard this conversation, so I don't want to speak
Right.
incorrectly, like I'm all knowing. But I know there was what was the question you asked me before that? I had something.
About the
So
air.
what were they creating before that? It was like, oh man, I'm drawing a blank here.
Oh, the air from China.
Air from China.
No.
Yeah. No, probably it was a little bit after that. Anyways, I guess that I don't know what exactly we're creating over here in China, Korea, but I know that it's such a small country, so that's why I guess it affects everyone so heavily. And
Yeah. So
yeah,
there's no way
man.
to really clean the air. I mean, I don't
Mm,
fucking know.
yeah, I don't think there's like really. I'm guessing there's more that they can do with pollution. I
Right.
guess like something with trash. They're pretty efficient with their trash over here. Everything has their own. It's like if you go outside to throw anything away, they have their own recycling system and their own trash system where
Right.
you have to separate your food. We have food waste over here where you just put it in there and they dispose of that properly. And then, which is kind of inconvenient for you because you have to like
Yeah.
separate everything into trash bags and put it in your freezer, which is kind of gross, and then end up taking it out. But that's coming from somebody who's lived in America.
Right.
It's not to get used to it. And then they have like their own hard recycling, which is like if you take apart like say you get some new headphones, you have to take out
Hmm.
the hard plastic from the cardboard sometimes. You have to put the um, soft plastic in another bag, which is like if you
Wow.
have like a chicken breast and you get those from Walmart in
Hmm.
another bag. So you have all your soft plastics, your hard plastics, your bottles, your cans, your glass. Um,
Right. So they got a whole system going on over there for like every single thing is getting recycled into its own separate thing.
yeah. And I also, yeah, so that's really efficient. And I just remembered exactly what I was about to say beforehand. You also asked why it was so bad. So they're building things really quickly over here as well because about a little over like 50 or 60 years ago with the war that they had,
Hmm.
this place was like leveled. Korea was leveled by I think Japan, so they had to rebuild everything, and they probably built it even stronger than they did before. And everything just came up really quick. Like if you come here, you'd be like, this place was like leveled 50 to 60 years ago. This is incredible. It's built just like cities in America. And I know it's a
Wow.
smaller place, but it's insane how much work they put in. Really respectable people over here, like the older generation. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Right. How hard was it to move from over here to over there? I mean, it's a totally different life.
Yeah, if we're talking about actual like cultural differences, there's not too much because in Korea you have everyone's it's capitalism over here too.
Hmm.
You have shops coming up, you have shops going, actually probably at a higher rate. There's like on my street, there's stores that will open and then 1 week and then next month it'll be gone. And you're like looking at one new store, you're kind of checking it out, and then it's either like blows up or it just gets
Wow.
taken out the competition.
Right. So what are you over there doing? You're over there teaching?
Yeah, I'm over here teaching for we'll see. over here in Korea, exactly, I'll be teaching forward until March the 11th. It's when my contract ends. There's a little bit of problems first when I first had it because my contract was made for 11 months, but it was supposed to be for 12 months. So
Mm,
they just asked me, they're like, hey, sorry we messed up on your contract. Just want to make sure you get your severance. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to make sure I get that. So I will stay.
right. Definitely.
Yeah. So, and then I'll go move to a different country over here in Southeast Asia since I'm already here anyways, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's crazy whenever you get over there. At that point, you're really close to everything. Just getting over there takes so fucking long.
Yeah, and it's like that's when my friends and family keep saying, "When are you coming back?" And I would love to see them. Don't get me wrong, I love my family. I have a great relationship. I'm not trying to get away from anybody. I
Right.
wish I love everyone, and but it's like when you're over here, then you might as well stay because of the prices, and it's not like I'm making buku bucks over here. So
Right. So
might as
why
well
did you
ride.
move? Why'd you move over there?
So I actually did want to open up do something with social media and fitness is what I'm thinking right now. It's because it's what I've been doing for a little bit and something that I admire what other people do. Not
Yeah.
like a hardcore fitness person, but just kind of like testing out different exercises and then seeing what works for me and maybe creating plans of my own plans or for other people and then like selling them and trying to maybe help them and give them something that they can't get with another channel. So I was
Right.
like, if anything, it's more of like a psychological move. I moved from Missouri to Colorado just to be out a little bit to think about myself, and then I moved out here. I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna start using social media as a platform more since I'm outside, away from everybody else. Who kind of, I guess you think everyone's kind of not against you necessarily, but you have people who have this like constructed idea of what they want you to be. So you're like, man, I don't want to let these people down. So maybe I should go move, and then I'll be
Right.
away from that, so I can start working on what I actually want to do. Is I guess
Yeah.
my thought process. So I was like, I want to go somewhere where I can teach and see the world, and well, at the same time. So it's like, if I mess up on this, if I mess up and nothing comes of this, I still have all the experiences that I've taken with me, seeing new
Yeah.
things, meeting new people, and just gaining a different perspective on life. So I was actually living in Colorado in a one bedroom apartment with three other people.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, so I was like, man, I need to get out of here, and it was a perfect timing actually because we my roommate who got the one bedroom, and that's a story by itself, but for another time. He started working for the apartment complex, so he like changed the hot tub water. He would clean up the complex. He would lock up at night, and sometimes I would like help him out with some of these chores just to take a little bit off and give him a little bit of cash here and there. So then I moved out here. Eventually, it was perfect timing because he was moving apartments because his manager wanted him in a smaller place, and I'm like, February
Right.
time. So I moved out at the right time, and everything just perfectly worked out. And I actually, from the new roommate that moved in, because he didn't move in until like 2 months prior, so it was only the two of us living in that one apartment complex in Colorado. And then his friend from Arkansas that he knew wanted to change his life too. So he came to Colorado. And then I met him, and we talked and we kicked it. We had a good conversation. And we're just talking about life. Same thing what we're doing here. And
Right.
then he was like, that's cool that you want to get out of here and teach and do something else abroad, because I actually know somebody that does do that. And I was like, oh, really? And at that time, I was just taking a TEFL online and doing some research on in Southeast Asia. But then he's like, yeah, if you want to reach out to her about the visa process, she can help you maybe on that. So I did. And then we talked for like 40 minutes. And then an hour or 2 weeks later, not an hour, 2 weeks later, she contacted me and was like, hey, if you actually want a job, I can get you one. So I was like, let's do this. I sent all my paperwork out early, which cost a little bit more money, but it was totally worth it. I was out here in 2 months.
That's crazy. So it just happened to be a friend of a friend, and it made it happen.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So that's why you picked the specific place. I guess that's where you got hired on at and everything.
Yeah, it was actually pretty nice timing, and you would think it's actually harder than it is to move abroad, but there are a lot of tools that are helpful. Like Facebook expat pages are like gold. You get on there and you don't have to like go through a consulting agent. You just know somebody that needs that, and it
Yeah.
meets your needs like
That
instantly.
Facebook page you sent me, that group, I'm looking at it every day, guys. I see new posts are coming in, and I'm like, holy crap, these places are cheap. What's the economy like over there compared to America? I mean, from what I was seeing, you could get really nice luxury apartments for cheap. I mean, great location. And it's like I did watch one of these videos where they have like it's a city location right downtown or something, and you can hear honking and a bunch of cars. And it's like I kind of like that, where it was like life is happening right outside and it's all good.
Yeah, I'm glad you could check that out too because I was, you tell somebody about this and they're like, you get skeptical, but it's just because they went through a war too, obviously,
Yeah,
with our country,
yeah,
uh, and it's crazy how they kind of jumping off the topic, but still kind of talking about Vietnam is we just had a war with them, and you would think they'd have some grudge against the Americans, and it's actually not like that. There's actually some from my Asian friends and hearing the Asian culture over there. There's actually a stereotype, like some prejudice against other Asians over in that country.
really.
So yeah, they're very tone wise. They look at your, I guess, complexion. So I was like, man, they probably wouldn't like Americans since we went through the war with them. I was like, that'd probably be bad if I went over there. And a few of my buddies were like, no, actually the complete opposite. And you look at kind of some things that they've implemented in their policies. Like if you want to stay over there, you can stay up to like 3 months unless you have a working visa, and then you can stay there for a year. But if you're American, I think, and Canadian or from another other country, you can actually just buy a visa for like 400, I think 60 or $90, and you can just stay there for the whole year.
Wow, that's crazy. Luxuries of being an American.
I don't know how. Maybe
Mm-mm.
we pay them or something.
It's more like one of those things where they're like, all right, we highly doubt one of those Americans are going to come over here and fuck our shit up and try and do
Okay.
something. They're like, we probably trust them for some dumb reason. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would trust us Americans. We're fucked over here.
Yeah.
But how is the economy over there? Pretty booming.
It's yeah, it's definitely up and coming because there's a lot of people investing. This is all hearsay too. It's not like I read the news too
Yeah.
too in depth over on in Southeast Asia.
Well, at least you're living there, so that's a pretty good starting point.
Yeah. I think my news as of right now has just been kind of looking at the coronavirus since I'm
Mm,
over here a little bit closer.
yeah.
But for Vietnam looks pretty good because in Da Nang, the specific location I'm staying is up and coming. They're trying to make it into like a surfing town, I think. So everyone's putting a lot of money into the buildings because
Yeah.
there's a lot of location, there's a lot of real estate, and then there's a lot of people wanting to invest. So they do, and they get their own little condos so that they can rent it out to people because, I mean, it makes sense for like, I think it's $150,000 to actually get like a condo, like
Right.
a whole place. So it's like
That's cheap.
$150,000. You might as well because you're going to make that back in like really soon, probably like,
Right.
not soon, like 10 years or so.
Yeah. And it's residual income. It's just coming in. It's not like you have to pay the 150K all cash down, which some people probably would. It's all loan payments, so you're still making money every day.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first time I've done podcasting. I know, like, whenever I'm talking to people, they can hear me like breathing and stuff too heavily. I was gonna ask
No,
for
I don't
you,
hear
the
that.
viewers. Okay,
No. I
good
hear
deal.
something over there. I don't know what it is exactly. It's like a
It's a growling.
so maybe. I can't
Oh,
really tell. It's not really that bad.
let's see. How about now?
It's better, I think. Now it's like stopped right now, completely stopped right now.
It was my boiler.
And then I think it's when you're moving. I don't know. I can't tell you. It's really not that bad though. You can hardly even tell it's there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've been sick for like 2 days, 3 days. It's freaking miserable.
Yeah, what happened?
Fuck, I think it's just the cold or the flu or something like that. You know, cold weather out, people are sick. I'm driving DoorDash, just tons of people around at all times, so I got something. But trying to get, at least I don't have the coronavirus. But I will say, when people are like the coronavirus, I don't even think about shit like that anymore. It's like I'm so immune to hearing about all these things happening. Ebola is coming to kill you. I'm like, I don't care. But you are, yeah, you're way closer. How close are you to China?
I'd say okay. So Taiwan is a part of China. I think it's relatively close. I think I'm about 10 hours away.
Oh,
Eight, so
you're relatively close.
maybe a little bit closer actually. Maybe 7 hours because I know Vietnam's like 5,
All right.
and I think it's like an hour maybe or two. So like 7 maybe. But I know it's like quarantine in one area. It's like Wuhan, China,
Yeah.
and they found some cases, and I mean a lot of cases.
I saw that they quarantined the whole city. Actually, a bunch of cities.
Yeah, which is sounds like an apocalypse is happening. But
Right.
yeah, they found I think 106 people. But then actually I was told that don't look at their statistics because they could be skewed.
Yeah,
Because
I've
all.
heard that. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I mean, I don't even know what to. I can just pray and be like, dear God, please don't let this hit me.
Right.
If I get it, I get it. Remember me.
That'd be crazy, though. I mean, I don't know why you would shut down entire cities for 100 people. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah. So I guess it's such a small area, and the population's so dense that they want to make sure and just play it safe. But even I heard they took action a little bit too late.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
hopefully they get that under control. I know they found
Right.
2 cases in Canada, 2 in Vietnam,
Oh, damn.
4 in Singapore, 4 in I think the States even. The United States has
Yeah.
4. But I think you have to have been within 3 to 6 feet. I'm not exactly sure how it's spread, but I think the same way as the flu through the air.
Right.
Touching.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come here. Missouri is a pretty decent spot. We've never had anything crazy go on here. Not yet. It's always
Yeah.
like the southern cities or the coastal cities like Texas or California or somewhere on the East Coast or Canada. It never really makes its rounds to the central of the country. I don't know why that always happens, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I heard like the worst thing that could have happened as like a natural catastrophe is that Missouri's built a lot of Missouri's built on top of caves. So
Yeah,
there's like that chance that there's like a sinkhole just coming in.
that'd be shitty.
Yeah, I was having a
'Cause
drink with my
I
cousin. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was there. I just had a drink with my cousin. She told me about that, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, any moment we could just be underground."
It could happen. I drive DoorDash and I have to go into these like caves all the time to deliver food because these people work in the caves for like Kraft macaroni and they like deliver, I guess, down there and stuff. But yeah, the caves are fucking nuts. Have you been down in there when you were here?
I think Merrimack Caverns, like those
Yeah, I think
specific
those are
caves.
those. I don't know if those are the specific caves, but similar caves where they're so big you just drive down in there and shit, and it's got whole things going on, like businesses and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? This is underground in a cave. It's so
I
weird.
that's actually sounds really cool, but I've never been. Only like with specific tourist kind of locations like the Merrimack Caverns and other places like that.
Right. Have you ever heard of the weird conspiracy theory that there's a inner Earth? There's an Earth on the inside of our Earth, and people are living there.
Yeah, and I've also heard about the hole.
I have heard about the hole. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't. I mean, not literally seen it, but yeah, I've heard about the hole. I don't know what to think about any of that, but I've seen it.
Yeah, definitely the viewers should check that out. There was a little documentary, little videos on one man explaining how I can't remember if he was traveling just to the north of the South Pole, but he was getting to the point to where he was what's it called? I guess in the middle of one of the poles, and he said there was a hole, and that he actually made contact with somebody that was in the hole, and they were telling him that the world is doomed. So he took
What?
them. So he took this man inside the hole of the world, and then he took him back. And the guy was claiming that this happened and that he was trying to tell everybody about it, but nobody believed him. Let me see
What
if
the
I can.
hell?
Yeah, I want
I'm
to see if
trying to watch that.
I can.
That sounds crazy as fuck.
It might have been on Netflix too. Who knows? Let's
I
see.
watched this. It was this show called The Moment of Truth. It was pretty small. You probably know what it is, but they would bring people on and say they would make them answer a bunch of questions, and if they were telling the truth, they'd win money. If they lied, then they would lose up to like a bunch of money. And these questions were nuts. So they'd bring this one guy on who claimed he got abducted by an alien, and they brought him on, and every single thing he said was true, except for the fact that he got abducted by an alien. And he like written books on this and got a bunch of money for it, and then all of it comes out to be a lie on the show. It's fucking nuts. And I wish we could put this guy on one of these kind of shows. I'm fucking want to know if this actually happened.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's been dead for a bit.
Ah,
Can't remember his name, but I can definitely find his name. Maybe if I just type in, what's it called? Conspiracy theory. That'll come up.
yeah, right. You can't find it over here in America. You type in conspiracy theory, they're like banned from the internet.
His name was McBride. Hollow Earth.
Oh,
Maybe I can show you a picture. Can I show pictures on here?
I don't know.
I know you can't play music. If you play music, you can get kicked off. So I don't know anything about pictures. If they probably not.
McBride Hollow Earth. I'm gonna put that down in my notes. Do how are the politics over there? Like, do they pay much attention to what's going on over here? Like they do over here, like it's literally going out of fucking style. Trump is on every TV, everywhere, all day, every day.
Not they don't pay much attention because I mean they don't have the same issues as we do. So, like I know right now we have like hot topic issues. Like say like just even with the border control, it's like you have North and South Korea. No one's getting through either way, and then they don't have anything that borders them south of that. So that's an issue that they'll never really have to deal with. No one's going to be voting over here. Maybe even voting, but we'll see.
Right.
I think it's pretty. They like get bits and pieces. They'll hear like a highlight that was from a certain channel, and then they'll think that that's what America is about, and they don't really know. So they know some issues, but they don't know everything, which is
Probably better that way.
yeah, for sure. I think so. But yeah, it's they have news over here. It's pretty. They stay up on their stuff.
Right. Is it as entertaining as it is over here? Like,
Oh
not entertaining, maybe not those words, but, it's basically entertainment here.
yeah, I think it's pretty entertaining. I mean, I think it's entertaining. I think it's kind of I'm not saying that I like it. Like oh,
Right.
I love this, but it's like definitely it piques interest. So yeah, I like it. There's not too much that happens over here, but there is some things that you do hear about corruption. I know one of my new teachers talked about one of the presidents giving money actually, because the president was like really respected. I think it was a female too, female president. So or whatever leadership they have, and she gave a certain amount of money to like a donation, pretty much, to some other woman or man, and they ended up using the money. Like they started embezzling some of it. So I think that's the term,
Yeah.
embezzlement.
Yeah.
And then they just found out about it because they did the numbers. They're like, where's all this money going? And then the president found out that the other girl or man was using that for their own bank, putting it into their own
Wow.
bank account. So they had to like they put her in prison. The president in prison.
Damn.
So yeah, they don't play around either.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that over here. No president or public figures will ever go to jail here.
Yeah, I know they've got some. They've gotten some because they're looking for it through Trump's. They're looking through a couple of his section. They found some people on some charges, pettier charges, but they found some of the past. So I think they got some punishment. I'm not sure if they got jail though.
All right. You're really close to North Korea too. That's kind of freaky. You ever get I mean, how often do people really try to escape? Like they try to run across the border?
So I'm not really too sure. I think that there's still a little bit of cover up of honesty because I went to an orphanage because I'll do some volunteer work over there and play basketball with the kids and just hang out. But there's
In North
one
Korea?
child, South Korea.
Oh, okay.
So in South Korea, there's one child who is like either from China or from the dad was like North Korean and he came from North Korea and like the mother was like Chinese or something. And he ended up like over the border to our area. So I'm not sure what happened to their family, but everyone, in the orphanage was just like, oh, he's from North Korea. I'm not even sure if it was anything that intense, but it was like the kid's first day there. So I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. But I think it's okay to at least go over there and visit North Korea. I know a few people that have gone over there to visit. It's not a place I would really want to go, but people have definitely done it.
What does South Korea think about North Koreans coming over there or trying to escape or leave or whatever the fuck it is?
Yes. So I think they think less of it. I don't think there's too many people like trying to escape. I'm not sure for what reason, but I'm sure it definitely happens, in more extreme cases.
Yeah.
I know that there's a problem right now with Japan because when they had the war, there was Korea, like I said, it was like trashed. So now they pay some what's it called? They pay some reparation money.
Yeah.
And they'll give that to Korea every year. And I'm not sure if there's a negotiation for a new term or if there was just problems with the past agreement. And so Japan stopped the reparation money from going into their account. So there was a big support there's a big not ban, but there's a big petition, not petition even. There's a lot of people just saying, don't buy Japanese products. Don't use Coupang because Coupang is heavily invested by the Japanese, and don't buy their technology. And there's a lot of no, yes Korea, no Japan. You'll see signs actually that say that in English.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's great.
And there's a video. They're asking if Japan and North Korea went to war, who would you support? And a lot of people were saying North Korea.
Damn.
So that's how, they're getting a little bit upset about that. And then you'll see definitely on the streets, you'll see Korean flags together with American flags. And I'm not sure what that's about, but it looks like they want to maintain or keep or add something with America. And I'm not sure how America views international relationships, but at least over here in Korea, I know we helped them out with their war. They're really appreciative, and they love, for the most part, Americans over here. I know the younger generation has some problems because of the military will go out and party sometimes, and they'll get a little bit too rowdy. So then that's one problem that they do have. But for the most part, everywhere I've went, they love Americans. They love.
That's pretty legit. So I guess it was a little easier moving over there whenever everybody actually likes you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It'd have been awkward as fuck if they were like, oh, fucking dirty American.
Exactly.
How hard was it to move? Obviously the cultures are different. The language is totally different. You can't just go into a store and say, I want a burger, right? How does that work?
Yeah. So I would say their English skills are actually pretty well. It's like our Spanish or our Espanol. It's okay. so they know at least the little things like, oh, like, do you want this? And like I could say that in um, Spanish, I guess. So yeah, te te quieres, right?
I don't fucking know.
I don't
I'm
know.
half Mexican. I don't even know any Spanish. Couldn't tell you
I'm
a
actually
fucking word.
I'm actually a quarter.
A quarter. How does that work?
Yeah,
A quarter.
because my mom's half,
Oh, okay.
my grandpa's full.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so their English skills are really well, and it's a lot of people will just say, can I have this? And I'm always making sure I take a picture of the thing I want on the menu because there's pictures too. I'll just point, and you can just say like Hana Juseo, like can I have this one please? And it's just like quiero, uno más tequila por favor, like yo quiero tequila.
Right.
Um,
So it's not too
so
bad.
not at all. It's really easy. I just walk in and I see what I want. I get the same thing every time in the grocery store. So I just pick it up, pay, and then they'll just be like, bang tu. Like they'll ask you for a bag and you'll say, bang tu juicio, can I have a bag? And then you're about your day. And then if you get a nice gig, they'll like hook you up and they'll just pay for your apartment complex.
Wow.
And you
So
won't have
your
to talk to
your
anybody.
your teaching gig actually pays for your stuff, and you don't have to deal with any of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. How does your apartment look? Like, what's going on in there?
Let's see. It's a little bit messy because I came back from break, but I'll show you. I'm making excuses for myself.
Yeah, yeah. I did too all week. I just cleaned mine yesterday.
So here's my apartment. There's my laundry. I don't have a dryer, so I do have to hang my clothes to dry.
Mm.
Here's my closets. At first, when I came in here, these are all closets. They're pretty spacious.
Yeah.
And then moving on to my refrigerator.
Oh, that thing looks sick. Can
It
barely
looks
even
like
see it.
it looks like a closet too. So I was like,
Right.
man, I don't have any fridge in here. And I opened it up, and it is a fridge.
Oh, that looks sick.
And then I have a little sink. That's the one thing I don't like because I realize how much I do cook at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to cook and clean over here because one pan, you see, one pan takes up like the whole
Oh, yeah.
sink. There's a bathroom.
Cool, cool.
And then one thing that's really in Korea, a lot of times you can find it, but with my specific apartment, you'll notice there's no window.
Yeah,
There's
I've
no-
seen that in that apartment place you sent me, or that group you sent me. A lot of the apartments I see don't have half of the glass there.
Yeah, which is okay because you're thinking, oh man, the water's going to be spraying everywhere, but they actually have some drains. Let's see if I can show you. There's a drain there. Ooh, not good for my computer. And there's another drain right there.
Okay. That's weird.
But it's a pretty nice apartment if you could find it. A lot of places where you travel abroad to, at least in Korea, it's really well with making sure that you have your needs, and it's modern, just like America and I guess anywhere in North America. So if you're trying to teach abroad, I would definitely look into it. It'll definitely hook you up. You just have to find the right people, and then you send the correct documents, get your plane ticket.
What if you're not going to teach? What if you want to do something else? Like, what other options are there that you know of?
So in Korea, I'm not really too sure. I know that one girl, like, for the smarter people, you can work at like a nuclear plant.
What the hell? I'm definitely not that smart.
I met a couple of people over here from my city, and I'm like, oh, hey, you're another white guy. What's up?
Yeah, I
just
bet there's very few white people around.
At least in my area in particular, because I live like an hour and a half away from everybody else. Who, like, all my other expat buddies are farther away, and they live in more heavier, I guess, English speaking people. Because you have Canadians, you have Americans, you have Europeans, you have people from South Africa. A lot of people from South Africa, and but they all speak, they all speak English rather well. So I would like to meet more locals, but it's been harder kind of to meet them than it has been to meet expats. So that's why I kind of just stuck to other people, other expats that speak my
Right.
language.
Yeah, I bet there's very few of those around. I mean, just in the big area, it's so hard to find them.
Yeah, they come out of the woodwork. Like I just visited Seoul.
Hmm.
Seoul is there's everywhere.
Yeah.
There's Americans everywhere. There's Canadians everywhere. You
Is that
can
more
just
of a touristy area?
yeah, and people will teach over there and they party. The clubs are pretty nice. I've never been, but I've always heard really good stories and seen videos. It just looks awesome. And if you like the party lifestyle, definitely check into Korea, South Korea, or not South Korea, Seoul, South Korea. It's insane. If you like that stuff, I know I'm kind of getting a little bit past that. It'll put a hole in your wallet. So
Oh, I bet.
try not to go out too much.
Yeah,
And
how is it price wise, buying groceries and eating and stuff over there?
I would say very similar with the states. So with chicken, we have won, which is almost equivalent to the dollar. It's a little bit less. So like if you have 1,000 won, or my bad,
Hmm.
let me do the math. I guess if you have 100,000, I gotta get out my wallet and start looking at my cash.
You're like, I don't even know what I have.
Yeah, so I'll show you. So this is $10,000 won. I
Mhm.
promise you, it's not monopoly money, and this is equivalent to $10 U.S. dollars. I would just say I think of it as $10, even though if you try to go to the exchange, they probably give you like $8 for this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I know I was like, this can't be the money.
Right. I went to the Bahamas and their money looked like that. I'm like, is this real?
Snoop Dogg wasn't on it, blown an L.
Fuck no. I hope not. I only had a dollar. And I'm pretty sure the people they were screwing me out of the money too, because I didn't know what the exchange rate was. And like I would give them money knowing I'm like, they're giving me too little of money back. You know what I'm saying? Like this is shady business going on.
For sure. I would definitely, if you're thinking about currency exchange too, I would definitely do it at the airport where it's very
Hmm.
reliable, and make sure that if you're going to like Jamaica, you can do it in America before you go to Jamaica and then
Yeah.
travel. Definitely, I'm a new traveler, but man, I uh, highly recommend fanny pack lifestyle. If you're not a fan, you should totally be a fan of it.
Yeah. I was a fan one time at a festival. I was like, I only have two pockets, man. I need a lot of shit. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy a fanny pack. And then I was like, damn, I feel kind of gay, but this thing is cool shit.
It totally works, man. And my buddy just was like, man, you need to get a fanny pack. You need to get a fanny pack. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a fanny pack. Fuck it.
It worked out.
It worked. It was awesome.
It sounds like you're having a good old time over there.
Yeah, you kind of you think at least I do. I think a lot about life, and I'm like, okay, what's the next step? So things actually started getting nice over here. You build a relationship with your teachers and like the kids. I didn't even really talk about the kids, man. They're freaking awesome. They're really cute. I teach 5-year-olds, but Korean age, so it's like four. In
Mhm.
America, I teach 4, 5, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds up until 14. So
What are you teaching them?
it can be like I only taught one grammar class, which is like real simple grammar.
Hmm.
And then with the kids, I teach them, it's a book. There's a lot of different books. Like we have a Rainbow Bridge activity book, which is kind of like a flashcard book, storybook, activity book, all in one. So like when I first start class, which I will be in like the next 2 hours, yeah, the next like hour and a half. I pretty much have class. Right now we're doing a speech because the kids are practicing for their little, I don't know what it's called. They're practicing for a speech, but if it was a normal day, I would just start with flashcards. We have a
Hmm.
projection, which is really nice. So I have a projector. My bad. We have a projector. I'll open up the flashcard CD. We'll review the 4 flashcards on the board, which is like in sections. So if you
Right.
have, we did a topic over sickness. So one was cough. The other one was runny nose. And you pretty much act a lot. So it's almost like really embarrassing if you ever want to be a kindergarten teacher. You have to like think to yourself like, hey, no one's gonna see this.
Yeah,
So
I feel
like
that.
you become Steve from Blue's Clues or Dora the Explorer, and you're just
Right.
like teaching these kids. You're like, can you show me? And like, it's kind of cute. You can pick the kids up and hug them when they do a good job. At least I do. I like, you know. But anyways, so I'll teach them flashcards. And then they have key expressions. So I have a runny nose. What do you do? I blow my nose. And then the next card is blow my nose. So you say, I blow my nose. And then they understand, they'll like repeat after you. And you'll say, what do you do? After asking like, what do you do, who, where, all the W questions, they understand,
Right.
they know what the W's are. So they'll respond to that. Then after the flashcards, I'll show them an activity book, which is together with the flashcards. So then we do the activity book on the projection and in their books together as a class. I'll ask them the first question, they'll tell me the answer, we'll do it together.
Right.
And then after that, we'll read a storybook. Then we'll do a story worksheet,
Mhm.
which is a story. The story worksheet goes with the story. And then we'll finish up and we'll clean up and get ready for snacks. And then if I was teaching a blue class, which is a little bit up, year up, I'll do art with them too every other day or something like that.
That's
So
cool.
we'll make like, it's real chill, really, it's really awesome if you get a good class and they're all smart. And my kids luckily are all smart. At least I think so.
Right. Yeah, and they're like 4 and 5, so I mean you can't expect too much.
Man, you'd be surprised. I feel like a lot of the kids, even in like America, like at that age, are not even like their English isn't as good.
Probably not. Kids
Like
here are kind of dumb.
Yeah, we're like we make sure the kids are sitting nicely, and I teach at a school where it's like it's thought of as like a higher, like a faster learning process. So like my teachers would be like Travis teacher, because that's what they call you. They'll call you your name and they'll call you teacher after. So you'd be Mario teacher. They'd be like,
Right.
Mario teacher. The kids have to sit down. They cannot move. They have to look at you. They have to repeat after you. Their pronunciation has to be on point. Uh, and I'm like, okay. And then you have to like threaten the kids with like red stickers if they're bad. And and then they start crying a little bit. You're like, hey, don't do that. Don't cry. And then you like realize, man, I'm talking to a 4-year-old right now, and I'm like
Yeah.
threatening a 4-year-old.
I'm gonna
So-
give you a red sticker. You better not
Yeah.
cry. I'll give you
Yes.
something to cry about.
I was like, Mario teacher, no, please
Wow.
stop.
That's crazy. Sounds like it's a good time though overall.
Yeah, I like it. It's just kind of like it's like go go go. It's kind of like a faster speed lifestyle. So, and it's not why I came over here. Like when you asked me, I was like, I wanted to open up my own fitness social media page and do
Right.
some work, maybe some outsourcing for other people selling plans. So I was like, I need more time, and that's the one thing I don't have. So that's why I want to go to Vietnam, because it's so cheap, and you can teach online for even at the bare minimum $15 an hour. And I have a few friends that have done that, and they've never had any complaints, and they have said it's rather well. And some people in that area in Vietnam, they do that. It doesn't require a work permit if you're like traveling every 3 months. There's like workarounds for everything. If you wanted to live in this area and this area and this area, you could just continue to do the visa run, is what it's
Mhm.
called. And I was like, well, that's perfect. So then I don't have to sign a whole year, because a year's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why I came to the conclusion of just teach online and try to do this as a side piece until that becomes my main source of income,
Right.
or good enough until I can do it and live to where I can make that money my main source of income.
Yeah. And traveling all the time, it's just a lot of experience and different cultures all the time. Sounds like a badass time. I'm over here with. I mean, we have a lot of cultures over here, but not like over there. Like it's like a new world over there. In other countries in general, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of hazy. I'm getting sick.
Oh, you're okay. I just didn't want to talk, too much. Whenever I drink coffee, I'm like, my brain's going a mile a minute, but my words are probably just slurring and coming out incorrectly. So I'm just like thinking of like trying to think about what I'm saying. But I know I get all hyper and just start spewing out random words.
It's all good. I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. We've been on here for about an hour, a little less. I want to get a little bit deeper into some of these conversations, so next time.
For sure.
When are you moving to the Vietnam?
Yeah, I'm moving to Nam in 2 months.
All right. Well, I'll have to bring you back on a couple months after that, so we can see how that's been going.
Oh man, I'm pumped. I'd love to be on here.
That's gonna be cool, man. Well, thanks again for coming on, everybody that's on here listening right now. This is Travis Anderson, originally from the States in Missouri. I think St. Louis, right?
Yeah, but people from St. Louis like to kick me out, so I'm from Chesterfield.
There you go. I like. Yeah, it's a richer, whiter part of St. Louis.
It is.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Travis, for coming on. You fucking rock, man. I'm gonna get off here and take some more medicine and hopefully feel better more. We'll see.
I guess you feel well.
Have a good day at class, man. I will talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.
But do you have a real job?